Hello everybody. I'm going to go ahead and install a red dot optic on my P365 and this is not really a video on the P365 itself, it's just how to install the red dot. The installation of the red dot is probably pretty similar on most guns. I've already taken the slide off of my P365, no reason for you to watch that. But anyway, the first thing I'm going to do actually is I'm going to take off the optic cut plate. So if you're not using an optic on a gun, you're going to have some kind of a covering, a plate here to make it look nice and neat. If you're planning on getting a red dot for a gun, make sure you get a gun that is optic ready. I mean, sure, you can take a slide that is not optic ready and you can get it cut, but that's pricey. And why do that? It's much more. I think it's much more pricey to get your slide cut than to just get the gun to begin with the optic cut. So what I have to do is I have to take this this covering off. So I have my own Allen wrench. The Allen wrench that Swampfox includes isn't going to fit every possible screw, obviously. So I have my own Allen wrench. What I have to do with the P365 is I have to get in here. There's two screws that have to be taken out right at the back of the slide. Okay, and this should just pop right out. There's the rear sight. Get that out of the way. And come on, there we go. And then the plate comes right off. Okay, and then as you can see, I have. I'm sorry, the lighting is awful. I don't have lights facing. Okay, so no real need to show you that, but that's where it's going to fit. Okay, so anyway, now I'm going to go ahead and take this little waterproof barrier here, and you can see that this this unit is equipped in such a way that it will fit multiple guns. In that you see there's lots of holes. I only need two of them for the 365. But you have a choice because different guns have a different footprint for the optic. So that's nice. All right. Anyway, I'm going to put that. I'm just going to kind of. It's this. It's kind of a no-brainer here. All you have to do is just kind of stick it on there, and that's that. All right. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and. Okay. I don't need the shroud. I'm going to go ahead and put the battery in here. Because, if you want to pay a little extra money, you can get like a Holosun or something where you don't have to actually remove the dot from your gun in order to change the battery. So as you can see, since the battery is on the bottom of the red dot, when I want to change the battery, I'm going to have to take this thing off again. It's not a big deal to take it off, but it is an extra step, whereas maybe with some of the more expensive red dots, you can just, it's a side installation. Anyway, this is what I went with. So I'm just going to go ahead and stick the battery in there. And that's that. And as I look, I'm just kind of looking to see if I can see the red dot. Oh, there it is. I have no idea if I'm going to be able to get... Ah, there we go. There you can see the dots going. So there you go. All right. So at this point, I'm just going to place the dot on the slide. I'm going to place it the correct direction. All right, which is going to be like this. So, yeah, so just, I guess if you're watching this video, you might be you possibly might be a beginner at installing a red dot. So you have to know which direction to install it. This is here's the front right here, and here's the back. And so you're going to put the dot on so that the glass is facing toward, the glass is the closest toward the front of the gun. All right. So anyway, toward the muzzle. So that's how it's going to fit on there. Okay. All right. So at this point, I'm just going to kind of, I'm not quite ready to put the screws in there yet. So anyway, the reason why I'm not ready to put the screws in yet, number one, the screws are still in the little bag. The Swampfox comes with several sets of screws, 3 different sets of screws to install. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put some Loctite, some blue Loctite on here, okay? Because under the extreme pressure, you know, the momentum of the slide, all the vibration, if you don't have Loctite on there, it's gonna become loose, and that's gonna mess with your zero and all that. Secondly, I have right here the fat wrench, it's called, made by Wheeler, and the purpose of this, it's a torque wrench is what it is, by inch pounds. Okay, so I'm going to set this to 15 inch-pounds in order to install these screws, and that's what Swampfox recommends. Actually, if your gun itself has a recommendation, I would go with their recommendation for how what torque to put the screws in. If I recall, you know, the Sig doesn't actually have a recommendation, so the manual for the Swampfox says no more than 15 inch-pounds. If your gun's manufacturer doesn't recommend a certain amount. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and set this to 15, which is not hard to do. Just kind of keep turning it like I am. I'm going to make that pretty exact, right at 15. Okay. There we go. Now the fat wrench comes with some bits. Unfortunately, none of those bits actually fit the screws. That's the small screws that you have to use. So I had to dig into my own collection of Torx bits, and because that's what you're going to need. You're going to need the you know, that star shape, 5-pointed star. I guess Torx, and yeah, Torx. This is a, what is this? A Torx T10H is the size I need. I'm just going to put it in there. All right, so the wrench is all ready to go. The water plate, the water resistant plate is on there. So all I have to do now is install these screws, and like I said, I am going to use some blue Loctite. I'm going to go ahead and put the dot on there. Alright, so then I'm all ready to go. Alright, I'm just going to put a little bit, how you can, not much at all. And I'm going to go ahead and kind of stick this carefully in there. I'm going to use the wrench to turn that into that. There we go. I'm just going to get it started. So what I'm going to do, if you were to go on to the Swampfox website and look at some of their videos on installation, one of the things they recommend you do is to kind of, this is not staying, is it the right size? Is to kind of move the screw in and out. So I'm screwing it down, and then I'm going to put it back out again. And I'm trying to remember the reason why. You know what? You can watch their video, and they give you a reason why they suggest you do that. It's more than just getting the blue Loctite onto all the threads. I think it maybe, oh, I think I remember about smoothing it out. You don't want to strip your screws or you know, cross thread it or anything. So they just want you to make sure that everything is moving really smoothly. All right, and I'm going to put some Loctite on the other screw. Just a drop of it. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to go ahead and use the fat wrench to get this down to the proper torque. All right, and the way this is going to work, if I remember right, is as I turn it, it's going to just kind of stop turning as soon as I get to 15 inch-pounds. So I'm going to turn it slowly because I don't, well, you can't really overdo it, but I'm still going to go slow. Didn't quite get there yet. Confirming I'm at 15 because that feels tight. There. So what happens is as you're turning it, it just kind of slips is what it does. It doesn't, slips on the screw, but the screw just, you know, the Torx bit just stops turning. Well, you got a loud click that time. I'm going to go back to each of the screws just to make sure. There we go. Alright, so anyway, that's the end of the video. All I have to do is put the slide back on the gun and then zero it, and that's it. So I don't know what else to talk about in regards to all that, but anyway, I hope that this helped you out, and that's it. See ya. Bye-bye.